Hello everybody, I've got quite some spicy Red Dragon Archfiend replays for you guys today, including stuff from the previous Duel Cup. And of course we also have an adjusted deck list to the fact that more Charmies are here and that Max C has been reduced to 2. If we go into match history, there isn't anything recently because we just had an update thing that clears the match history, but you can see Master all the way. Let's go to the replays. Let's try and speed this up because I have a lot of replays to go through. Unfortunately today an opening hand. One of the worst things we can draw in our entire deck in opening hand because it just most of the time disables the entire Centurion engine. Luckily for me, they have Max C, so it's actually kind of good that we have the Primera in the back row. That means we can just give them one draw to go into Scarlet, and then we can do Auxilia with pseudo Raigeki on their turn, basically pop everything in attack mode. Of course they have that. I should have shotgunned the Max C, but it doesn't matter, so who cares. Curie Photon is on the deck list in the end, but it's an optional choice you can add if you see enough Tenpai, especially now that they would Fuvalos and Max C you, so it's a good option if you know you can't really play through too much of it to just add it if you know it's Tenpai. Again, requires enough Tenpais to show up in your ladder for it to be worth using, but if you're in that situation, it's really good. Soul Resonator saving us there, but you know, they just always have it, don't they? So Curie Photon will buy us a turn, which means if we retain any Red Dragon Archfiend engine, we just win the game from there. I wanted to use it a bit earlier than you need to, just to be safe. Like, I don't know, like maybe they went into a 10 or something and got me by surprise, even though that they wouldn't be able to OTK me, then they would just lose then. But you never know, right? You never know. Just gotta be safe. That removes all our recursion and our chances to win, which leaves us in top deck mode. Of course, we are a literal gamer, so we just get Resonator Call, which means we win the game. Now, you may be wondering, wait, so your Scarlet is banished, and also Scarlet can't pop this, right? Actually, the effect of popping is on the resolution, not the activation, so Bloody Rose cannot negate Scarlet, no matter where it is in the chain. We do go Scarlight just so we can access the Pater, but Scarlight actually is very important to have summoned here, and you'll see why. Also, Pater perfect timing. I think that was on like the 5th summon or something as well. So, just perfect there. This allows us to do this, just chain lock it just in case, but even if it wasn't chain locked, they wouldn't be able to respond to it as far as I know, and then, yeah, they're just done for. Now, we are playing around the fact that Transcendence can come back, and we just want to be safe. We don't want to deal with any triple attack nonsense, so we're just going straight to 8 phase 2 to pop the remaining and win the game. Another Tenpai player, in case you were wondering. Top deck Curie Photon. Saw a lot of Tenpais in this Duel Cup that we had, well, I guess before the Charmies got released, but still shows some very interesting games for the time. First up, the recursion is gone. Wouldn't have mattered if I tried to summon it anyways. I would just have had it banished anyways. Figured going for Chaos Angel with Curie Photon was the play. Normally that wouldn't work without Curie Photon because they would just attack everything into the Soul Resonator until you die. But since I did have that, I was confident in just leaving it like this, and then I also just for good measure use it as my discard because they don't have anything. So in a pinch, like no joke, I've used Curie Photon just to be a bestial target at times, and it has worked out like a charm. Now there's some things you might not know about Trident Dragon. If you negate it, the attack actually stays because it was given to it by the Sangan summoning, which is something I probably learned this duel if memory serves, but we'll see. We just go Yubel to force out the back row, didn't want to deal with that too much, and then we can go straight to Abyss where I've figured out, yeah, that does not work. Luckily we have Phalanx, so we can just Phalanx it and that'll seal the deal, plus they don't even get to attack, so what am I even worried about, right? Not a problem. They, of course, they get Fighter, right, off the top, obviously, but it's fine, look, we win. Oh my god, an opponent has selected going first, it's not Tenpai. Guess what it is? It is Snake Eyes, yes. Imperm seemed like a very good choice there, but then you forget that they're running Firekings, which luckily we're gonna get rid of when Fiendsmith comes, but for now it's still very annoying to deal with, and Fiendsmith will probably be more annoying. Maybe not, I don't know, like depends. I just know Fireking specifically is very annoying for Resonators to deal with because of their extra recursions and like pop effects that are Again, like if we go first against them, it's fine. It's just going second against Snake Eyes with Firekings is very annoying for us. They think I'm a Tenpai player, I think. Or at least they're playing around it. So they did that. Just the cross out, yes. As a result, I'm deciding to set Centurion Phalanx because there's no way I actually play otherwise. And I just had to hope they didn't top deck, which they didn't. So we are good. Phalanx on my turn, and now it's gamer time. Adding the Crimson Resonator because it allows the most possible plays in this scenario. Baiting out the Imperm there, just holding on to the bone. Don't want to send this to the graveyard in case they have another call by, which is, again, the correct play. Don't get my recursions and stuff, but hey, I get to get my board online anyways, so it's fine. It's fine. We see a very nice thing you can do with the Rule Loop here. Most definitely done it in previous videos, but you can take notes if you want. Just summon Auxilla that way without getting rid of the Peta, and you can then discard the Vision Resonator instead of having to use it to summon the Auxilla, and then you wouldn't have a discard, you know. Of course I know that I'm not gonna be able to finish him this turn, but yeah, we want to force it out anyways. And then I actually return that, like, even though it's unaffected and stuff, I return that into the extra deck so it doesn't come back with Phalanx, which means they're on top deck mode now, and we have a negate, so what are they gonna do? They're gonna lose. So we have a very unique line we can do here because we open Lubellion with Vision and Synchron Resonator. The reason why we're running 2 Lubellions is just because we can do this very neat thing. We don't actually need a third at all, but we need to just because you can banish the Lubellion and then send another Lubellion with Saronir. So that's a really nice thing you can do for various combos here that still gets you access to the Regained. Now what we are gonna do is that we are gonna be trying to make Auxilla, and we're also gonna be making a Dissipator here that can bring back the Abyss that we're about to banish. Because that's how we would resummon it, and then we end the board on Auxilla, Dissipator, Abyss, and we'll have the Red Rising and even Scar Red, so we can go into Chaos Angel if we need to, or Supernova if that's what we want. And that is gonna be our end board. So yeah, doesn't look like Tenpai does it. I should have definitely used that in the like standby phase or whatever, or like after draw phase or something, but you can see, yeah, it's Tenpai. I would probably be cooked without the Call by the Grave, not gonna lie. We're trying to bait out the Chaos Angel here so we can do the Ghost Ogre. And that allows us to summon it back when stuff like that happens, so I just wanted to be able to summon back the Dissipator. Now, unfortunately for me, they're just gonna go ahead and make a Typhon. And yeah, that's it. That's a Tenpai player right there. We get rid of the Typhon, which allows us to just do everything we want to do here. We can summon our Red Supernova Dragon using the Crimson Dragon here, and then we can go for a Bone Archfiend style of play, like Soul Resonator Bone Archfiend, and basically win the game. And there we go, won the game. We're going second here against Yubel. Obviously, this would not have made it into a video if the Max C actually mattered. So it gives us like 1 card back and that's it. Now you might be like, oh yeah, but they could have done an insane board. And while I agree with you, yeah, but they just have Effect Veiler, and that's an Imperm, by the way, if you need to know. We're doing a really cool play here with Sweeper, where we go into Bestial Dissipator, and then I want to chain lock the Vision Resonator. I mean, best case, they don't even activate the Yubel because they don't know you can destroy in Resolution and you just win the game from there. But, of course, if they're playing at a high skill level in Duelist Cup, or like whichever ranking I'm usually aiming for, which is Bronze Finalist, then they're not gonna do such mistakes, of course. So they just have access to everything they ever wanted, and we just have to hope that they don't have something that can give them resources in hand, but they do. They have a Spirit of Yubel, which is one of the worst case scenarios probably, and then they obviously added the Grave Squirmer, so they just have all the material in the world right now. Now luckily for me, I can just bring back a Scarlet when they pop something on the field, and here they're actually forcing out my Dissipator. I couldn't use it before because, like, yeah, that happens every time anyways, but you know, I had to try at least. Good thing we have Soul Resonator in the graveyard, and they only have Dark Link monster in the graveyard, so we are pretty good with that. They do go into SP Little Knight. I despise this card. I actually despise this card because first off, it doesn't matter for Yubel, the thing where, oh, you can't attack directly, they still kill you. The other thing is that it might take you 2 negates to deal with, because, okay, they summon it with a Link 1. Like, it's only... SP Little Knight is only a problem because it can be summoned on opponent's turn, and it can be used with a Link 1 on your own turn, in my opinion. That's the only reason why SP Little Knight is a problem, because... I mean, we can't run it in Red Dragon Archfiend because we Synchro Log, and, like... most plays they'll put on to, like, if we have SP in the deck, it's for turn 3, and that doesn't really matter, because we'll be locked when we summon too many things usually on the field. So I don't value SP Little Knight in Resonators at all, but it's just really annoying to fight. Felt like just mentioning that. Just go straight for that Supernova. There's an argument that we could have gone Blazer, and at least we got rid of that, but they also got rid of our Abyss Negate. That's the annoying thing, right? We just had to Abyss Negate that, or we lose out everything we want here. But yeah, here we go. Red Supernova Dragon. We can just simply pop that, and then it doesn't matter from there because we can then Supernova on whatever follow-up they do, and they surrendered. I actually won the coin flip here, and I didn't know it was Tenpai, but surprisingly I still end up playing around it just perfect. Probably had a sneaking suspicion that, maybe it's Tenpai, but also under max C, so I have to limit my board. As a result, I just set up the Scar Red pop effect by going into Auxilia, with a Curie Photon as well, just for safety, because again, ran into so many Tenpais at this stage, I just ran Curie Photon, and it seemed like the best add on the Max C anyways, in this specific scenario. So yeah, they have another Max C, of course they do, like why wouldn't they? Just gonna have to do this. Like, you might have been like, but you need to Chaos Angel, or not Chaos Angel, like Geki Pop, right? No, it doesn't work because Sangen Summoning protects them, but we can just wait until the battle phase because we do have the Bestial. And then we just pop them anyways, and it's good like that. But yeah, they just have everything anyway, so it's a good thing we had the Curie Photon. they forgot I have Auxilia. And that just made it worse for them as well. Unfortunately, SP Little Knight exists. And they can go into SP Little Knight and then Typhon for essentially 2 removal, yes. Cool like that, you stop the Tenpai from winning, and then they still remove 2 things from your board, right? That's really cool. So yeah, obviously they got so much card advantage that yeah, they would have multiple ways of effect negating his best because it is Tenpai, so they're playing like majority of their deck is just hand traps, as you can see. So I have to play around the Kaiman, I can't just go for what looks like easy lethal. I need to actually just make sure I finish the drop properly. So I just pop both of them to trigger Scar Red and bring back another that is lethal damage, and if they summon something, I have the Branded Regain summoning back something. As you'll see right here. And since Red Dragon Archfiend will just flip them all down and destroy them, I win there. Easy game. So my opponent here went Turbo Nuts. He also made sure that I can't destroy his Dark Fluid. And I just figured showing this because this happened in a rated duel, and yeah, how do you out this board? How do you, especially with the Bone Archfiend top deck there, right? That is at the save room. Luckily he used it on the Resonator call. He also draws a card, drew straight into an Ash Blossom so you can hit the other one. That's both Resonator calls out of the way. Instantly goes for the Aggregator. Just set the other one, I discard the Bone Archfiend, and now he goes for the Singularity. Like, okay, we just Bone Archfiend 1-card combo to victory, I guess. And he also has the Imperm. Like, okay, Soul Resonator does the trick. We just go and pop their back row because everything else dies to Scar Red Resolve anyways. Except for obviously the Dark Fluid, which might be a bit of a problem, let's be honest. But there we go. And we just make Auxilla this way instead, because we can. So we can add a Phalanx, and that will take care of the Dark Fluid being a menace for us. I just want to get rid of it right now before they send anything or before they do something. I mean, they probably didn't have anything to send anyways, but, you know, I just wanted to get rid of it so it attacks, like, just resets. And they probably wouldn't even want to send because it would lower the attack anyways when it comes back. So now they send a Firewall Defensor just to boost up the attack, and they also have Dual Lockbird. Doesn't matter, we go into Crimson Dragon. We trigger the Scar Red effect to just get a OG Red Dragon Archfiend, and the Supernova can luckily beat over the Dark Fluid. Just gotta make sure we make the legendary level 13 Red Supernova Dragon first, and just see how big our board can be before we go for the lethal damage. But yeah, that should be enough to just win the game from here, and we might overkill a bit, but you know, it is what it is. We literally just outed an pretty much impossible to outboard, and they even had like hand traps and other things just by playing a bit smart. This is a tier element pile. We just Dual and Lockbird them and hope to top deck, which, spoiler's not gonna happen. For a while, it's gonna be quite a few draws before we see anything resembling Engine. So for now we just have to play what we can, and the easiest -2 to the opponent of my life. I even get my card back by drawing another card, and it's literally the exact same card. It's limited to 2, by the way, just if you were wondering. 2 of them, I have a 60 card deck, I have drawn both of them. And we drew a big. Perfect. The reason why they didn't attack with Psyche and Punisher is they don't want to make it affected by my stuff in case I actually did play this turn. They wanted to make sure it's unaffected. Zombie Vampire, I have Resonator Engine, so I think it's a really good idea to just stop them from accessing any tier elements. Again, they don't attack because they want it to be unaffected. And from here, it's just easiest game of my life, especially if they have no disruption. We still play it around the disruptions. And as soon as they realize that I have full combo, you know, they're very quick at scooping here. They see the red rising, they realize that it's just over, and they decide, yeah, you know what, this is enough. So yeah, it's Labyrinth. Set 4. Labyrinth sleeves, obviously it's Labyrinth. Wanna max C here because I wanna Ash Blossom the big welcome, but it doesn't really matter because they had the lady already in hand. So they just have both, and I'm just kinda screwed here. I mean, what do I do here, right? I just have to play into whatever they have. And here's a card I think should be banned in Master Duel because the online calculator specifically for this that makes it the easiest thing ever to resolve. And it might as well just read, oh, opponent has a level whatever monster like 6, 7, 8 or higher, and you banish their field. Just trap that banishes field. You can get turn 0'd with it, just like the Daruma. Very frustrating card. Very, very frustrating. I do not like this card. Like, at least if you use it in real life and you sit there and you actually do the calculations and you maybe mess up or whatever, that's fair. Or you're just a genius and you actually do the calculations. But in an online simulator like Master Duel, so to speak, I don't think that card should be legal. Hot take, maybe. I don't know. I hate Labyrinth as well. Maybe also a hot take, I don't know. But Labyrinth is really frustrating. It's like, it's easiest game of my life. If I go first and they don't have Labyrinth Butler to just turn 0 me. I've been turn 0 Daruma Cannon, still won games obviously, and in this case I did go second against them, so you know, and since I'm showing this on YouTube, guess what? I won the game. Let's see how I win the game, right? Oh, by the way, you know I said Daruma Cannon, right? About that, trap tricks into the Daruma Cannon. So the Daruma Cannon and the Crazy Cannon, same game. Really, really frustrating. Game plan, just outgrind them. Just hope they don't draw any access to traps and that we can outgrind them long term. That is literally the perfect scenario here that they had 2 of those, because that means 1 trap, they get to set another one, and I can probably finish them up on my turn. We also add a Ball Drake, and we just make sure to banish that right away, and they scoop. Were you thinking we had too many games without a Tenpai game? Well, do I have news for you? Opponent selected going second, and they have Perulia. yeah. So I have to just allow them to get some draws here if I want to do anything at all. And I know it's Tenpai, right? So I just have to go for a play. And then they also have Max C, so I got kind of punished by going into the Red Rising Dragon. And at this stage, I'm just like, you know what? You know what? I want to play my game. I don't care that you're Tenpai. Okay, I kind of wanted the red screen though, but I have the Curry Photon here, so I'm fine with you being Tenpai. So give me the best shot. I just want a game. I just want a game. That was literally my only thinking right here. And there's an effect Veiler. We just do it anyways. I cannot recommend playing into a maxi against the Tenpai. I'll just say that. But at this stage I felt like I had lost anyways. Might as well just full commit now. Oh, this is fine. We can just simply get back the Scarlet and then we can send Phalanx to the graveyard and we are good. And we can summon on their turn. And then we can summon the Tudea to make... okay, they have Super Pulley. So it's Tenpai with Super Pulley. I hate Super Pulley. Like, it's such a big kryptonite to like resonators in general. Because our entire board is gonna be Dark Dragon Synchro most of the time. But yeah, we just go Supernova Dragon, and we do have the Curry Photon, so I'm not too scared about too many things here. They do go straight into a Baron de Fleur. And they had a Feather Duster. So here I'm like, they can't actually out Supernova Dragon, right? So I do the Curry Photon, they didn't bite. Like, if they had negated that, I would obviously have Supernova and banished their field. At this stage, I'm just like, okay, let's just get rid of the Baron de Fleur negate for when the turn shifts. We're not too sad about having a Supernova in the graveyard, to be honest. We can easily get him back with the stock we have in the graveyard already, if memory serves. Don't we have, yeah, Uhua Loop. So we can relatively easy access him again. Very, very frustrating situation here that Baron can just go in and set them up for essentially being impossible to kill. But yeah, I mean, it's me who played into the maxi anyway, so I only really have myself to blame, don't I? Just hoping I can do some sort of play to get rid of everything for them. I think I already used the normal summon, but we could just go Scarlight on top, and they're like, nah, I don't think so, mate. I'm like, but I think so. I think so, very much. I think we should do that. I think we should do that, actually. So we pop it, Scarlight. Such a great character, like such a great card. It just shows that he has 2 extra Mall Charmers he couldn't use, that he drew off the Maxi, and we win the game. So we just have Centurion Giga line here. Instead of Bone Archfiend, you can have Vision Resonator, that's the standard one, but like, instead of adding Bone Archfiend later, you just add Vision Resonator, and then that's kind of the difference. The only thing is that you might not want to use the Red Rising effect, you want to just special summon the Vision Resonator. Or in this scenario, what I actually should have done, because I'll show it in a bit, I should actually discard the Vision Resonator to the graveyard, so I don't have leftover Crimson Resonator on the field. Like, it is technically fine to have the leftover Crimson Resonator on the field, it just means you need to resolve Supernova Dragon first, before you can kind of use the plays. But yeah, there I could have discarded the Vision Resonator, and it would have probably been better. Because I need to summon the Vision Resonator here to get the Red Zone and Crimson Guy on the field. But again, it's not a big deal, we can just Supernova effect and then do the Blazer Dragon when we need to. And then we'll just go into Auxilla, and then that's our end fort. And there we go. Now, we do have a Kryptonite in this deck, and that's called Super Pulley, but not one Super Pulley. 2 Super Pulleys. Yeah. They had another, and guess what? Their last card is 1 card combo. So yeah. Should probably have kept the Phalanx there to some degree, because they're doing that. And yeah, I mean, I pop it, but they still get the effect. Like, if I had the Phalanx, I could have saved the pop a bit and done it a bit better. But yeah, They go into Subversion, and the funny thing is they have the Orcust 1-card combo here thing where they can just go into Dragoon, right? Like, they just go into Dragoon and then Gersu or whatever. Which, under the current circumstances, is really bad for me. Like, really bad, because they double super bullied me, and the remaining card just allows all the nonsense. Like, think about that for a bit. Yeah, they go into Verde Anaconda, and then that's a Dragoon. He was actually gonna kill me here, by the way. If I didn't use Soul Resonator, I would have been dead here. I needed to use the Soul Resonator. Like, that's 3k attack damage there. That's just out of the equation. So he was planning for lethal. He just didn't know about the Soul secret effect in the graveyard. And look at what he just does on my turn. This is my turn. And he just sends the Crimson guy away. Some arguments could be that he should have kept up. But look at this. Look at this. Okay. It's fine. We can bring back Supernova. And he also got rid of the Dragoon himself, so, you know. It's fine. And he scoops. We can actually out-Dragoon fairly easily with the Crimson Gaia by just flipping Dragoon face down with it after baiting out the negate, and then any Red Dragon Archfiend will just beat over it. Oh my god, I have a Balatro hand! That's... I have to just not use Called by the Grave here, because that ruins my maxi. And with this kind of hand, I kind of just need to do this. I need to do this. Still playing Cure Photon at this stage, but I think I dropped it around this time, maybe, I don't know. It's Super Heavy Samurai, and it's like, yeah, okay. But, you know, we are smart. We have the Call by the Grave. He doesn't know I had 3 Bone Archfiend in my opening hand. Doesn't even matter, like, that's 2 in the graveyard. I use this for safety already because I'm seeing Veron the Flua, and that's like my only interaction, and I need to make sure I survive. Because with Maxi rolling and surviving, I win 100% of the time, right? That's the logic. Anyways. Opponent ain't stopping. But yeah, I can't die, so I'm fine. He did not want to use his disruption there, understandably. Like, I could draw into any Nibiru, you know. Dude, it's just going straight for the Centurion now. Luckily I have Ash Blossom, and I forgot I called by myself to get my Maxi to resolve, so I got Ash Blossom. So I actually need to call by it, but opponent ends up just being like, yeah, no, I can't deal with that. But there you go. We're going first, and we open Today and Primera. That's essentially just -1 card, and if we had Reso Engine, we couldn't play it. Luckily for me, I have Called by the Grave for the Ash Blossom. We also do have a Dual Lockbird, so we can make some advantage. But honestly, this game we aren't even playing with Dragon Archfiend, we're just playing Centurion, right? Having this just in case of them outing the Auxilla, so I have some extra protection, and I couldn't add it to my hand anyways. So, this is something really, really smart, by the way. I summoned from the extra deck, so I can draw on a Lockbird so that they can't add the field spell for the thing to the scoop. Like, they just scoop. Easy game. If you guys missed Tenpai, don't worry, they're back. Fading out the Ash Blossom. I mean, ideally we would have liked to not do it like that, but we have Crimson Gaia, it's fine. We just play it like this instead. And that should be full combo unless they have other disruptions, which, guess what, they have. We're just gonna banish the Crimson Resonator then. I'll make a Scar Red. That'll add red screen, and again, knew it was Tenpai, so we just want to add the red screen, and only knew that because they selected going second. So that's really nice for us to know that. Obviously they had Tundra in hand, they make Black Rose Dragon. Luckily we have the hidden effect of Soul Resonator. And we just make sure that no matter what they do, they can't do too much damage to us. Just gonna make sure we draw a card and also set up that we can sack if they make something like that. Also dodges, by the way. And yeah, the opponent scoops. Like, I mean, obviously, like that got completely outplayed there. This is gonna be the last of my saved replays I have for you guys today. I am gonna make a possible amount of misplays here, but but it's fine. I'm just gonna show you guys what I've got here. Now, they do have 4 loss, so I kind of want to limit my plays a bit. But I still want to have a strong board because I already, like, I wouldn't be able to do anything anyways and I would probably lose. So I have to do something, I just have to play to the full loss. I did technically have a bunch of branded replays I could have saved, but I couldn't make up my mind to delete anything, so they just ended up expiring. They were from Rated, of the most recent season that, well, isn't the current active season when you watch this video, but, you know, prior season. Review, luckily we just do that, and there we go. Problem solved. Now, something that doesn't really hit my mind properly with specifically White Forest is that they're playing a level 6 in the extra deck. That it doesn't strike me as, oh, they would just synchro summon this one. I should have just stopped them from playing earlier when they activate, so I could probably have red zone, I could have done so many other things, but I just didn't strike my mind that, oh yeah, they can just summon it like that. And even then it's like, okay, I banished the thing from the graveyard, but it still returns to the deck, so there's some interaction I wasn't aware of there in general, where I thought I was safe, but in reality, no. And that means that they can set up Blizzard Dragon with an SP Little Knight, which they will do, and also wipe out most of my board. Yep, so they just make a Blizzard on their own turn because they can just do that, and they even have a Synchro Rumble they can add back. So this is a very disruptive board. Kind of holding here. I'm deliberately waiting for the Duel Cup so I could lock the Crimson Gaia, by the way, so they couldn't destroy that because I wanted to keep it badly. But they just go into SP Little Knight and then banish it, and I can't do anything about it. Even destroying her doesn't do anything. It's only on the next effect, you know, but then she'll just jump off if you try and destroy the... Anyway, the point is, it doesn't really matter. So this is a fun interaction, right? Where Cosmic Blizzard Dragon actually negates the summon. The flip summon, by the way, not just the summon. Just the flip summon of Scarlet. And then if you actually protect it with the Soul Resonator, I mean, like, isn't that insane, to be honest? That it still sends it to the graveyard because it negated the flip, and then you stop the destruction, but then the fact that you're even allowed to have the option for stopping the destruction is crazy to me, but I guess I learned something there. If you flip summon and Blazer negates it, it'll go to the graveyard no matter what. Either way, we just make Auxilla like that with a debut token, and they scoop. With a lot of new lessons learned, actually, and I hope you guys can take some of these lessons as well. Very important. If you don't know how to use Chain Resonator, goes out of the deck. If you don't see Tenpai, Red Queen goes out of the deck. I'll go over every single card in the regional list here after I've done this, but let's just talk about this real quick. Fiendsmiths are coming, we want to run Graveyard Hate. We might even want to drop Regained for an Etude, but that's why we're running the 3 DD Crows. And we might want to up the Bestial count. Like, if you don't like the idea of DD Crows, you could run maybe 2 Duelist Worm, 2 Sourneers, maybe the 3rd or whatever Sourneer. Could run an extra Lubellion. There are many things you can do. You can also opt to drop the Phalanx and then run Gargoyle instead of Rake Up for the Centurion stuff, and that gives you an extra spot for maybe the 3rd Lubellion or whatever. But Etude's floodgating effect is just gonna be really clutch against Fiendsmith, I feel like, so it might be worth using that over Regained if you don't want to run both. I would not recommend running both, too much bricking, but I think Etude might just be the better card to run over Regained in the upcoming meta. This is purely hypothetical, haven't play tested it, so expect maybe updated deck list sometime in the future. We're running a DD Crow, taking the spot of the 3rd Maxi since it's been semi-limited. We have 2 Dual Knockbird, we have a Synchron Resonator, we have Chain Resonator, we have Crimson Resonator. Obviously the 2 Maxis, don't think I needed to mention them, but I'll mention them anyways. We have 2 Vision Resonators, we have Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, 3 Ash Blossoms, we are running 2 Soul Resonators, could cut a Resonator call for the 3rd. We have Obsessive Whirloop, really good for our grind game, allows so many things. We have 3 Bone Archfiend, we have Primera, we have 2 there, we have 3 Foverloss, we have 3 Earthbound Prisoner Stone Sweeper. These basically is a Resonator call, but in a very dicey situation it can even be special summoned to the field with possibly negated, or you just don't activate the effect on Soul Resonator, and then if you either have Vision or Synchron Resonator, you can blow up the entire board using the Scarlet effect without them actually having a response until, you know, you chain lock it with the Synchron Resonator or the Vision Resonator effect. We have Bestial Magnamod, Bestial Saronir, Druisrium, Baldrake, 2 Lubellions, we have Police Burial, we have 3 Resonator Call, we have 3 Stand-Up Centurion, we have 2 Void Apocalypse, you might even consider running a third depending, I just can't fit it into my deck for obvious reasons. We have Branded Regained, which can easily be replaced with Etude, probably better in the upcoming meta. We have 3 Crimson Guys, we have 2 Called by the Grave, we have a Crossout Designator, we have 3 Emblema Oath, we have a Wake Up Centurion, we have 3 Infinite Impermanence, we have a Phalanx here, we have Red Screen, and we have Red Zone. For the extra deck, we have 2 Red Rising Dragons, Kui Belt, 2 normal Red Dragon Archfiends, we have Scarlight, we have Scar Red, we have Abyss, Bane, Dissipator, Chaos Angel, Blazar Dragon, Supernova Dragon, Crimson Dragon, and Auxilla. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you again next time.